It's Dave Johath for the Boxing Voice. Pleased to be joined by WBO Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Hamzah Sheeraz. How are you? I was just about to say Champion of the World there.
Bro. See, I'm all good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How you been keeping over in London? Worst hit by the pandemic. Have you been keeping well?
Yeah, man. Been keeping well. Been training. Been keeping active. And I've known about this fight date for quite some time now. So I've had a focus. Do you know what I mean?
Good stuff. So was it always Paul Kean as well? Because originally, were you not going to fight on the Daniel Dubois card with Joyce?
Yeah. It was always Paul Kean was always the opponent. But now both sides, like my side and his side, have had a full 12, 13 weeks to prepare for this fight now. So no excuses on my behalf and no excuses on his. Do you know what I mean? So come fight night, it'll be a level playing field and the best man will win.
What have you been doing keeping active? Any access to any gyms or anything? Or have you just been doing like road work and stuff at home?
At the start, I was doing road work and everything, as every boxer was doing. But then I got sick of it, man. So I was doing home workouts and everything. And then, my coach was working out in the park and everything. And then we got access to a gym and working there's an outside bit of the gym as well. So we're working outside there. And just taking all the measures to make sure we're safe. You know what I mean? Getting tested as well before we go in the gym and everything. So we're taking all the measures, and I think come fight night, getting in the ring will be more of a relief than anything else after all this stress and everything. Getting in there and punching someone in the face will do me some good, man.
Yeah, I mean, is it fair to say he's going to be the toughest opponent of your career? Because he's lost one, hasn't he, so far?
100%. 100%, because every fight from now on is always going to be harder than the last one. Do you know what I mean? Every fight is going to be harder than the last one, and it's the steps you got to take to what I got to take to get where I want to get in the end of my career, man.
Looking at the WBO rankings as well, considering you've got the European title, are you surprised you're not highly ranked in there, or does that not even go into your sort of consideration? Do you not care, or do you think yourself you should be ranked a bit higher considering the accolade that you've got?
So at the minute, I'm not too bothered. Like getting number 15 ranking is all right for now. Do you know what I mean? Considering it was my only 10th fight and my first ever title fight as well. Considering, but now hopefully if I defend it, I'll get moved up in the rankings, and before you know it, come 2-3 years, I'll get myself in the number one position and like you announced at the start, become a world champion.
Yeah, I mean, just a bit of background to that for people that don't know. You and I met at the O2. I can't remember what fight it was now. TV was there as well.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, meet this kid. He's going to do big things. He signed with Frank Warren.
Yeah.
And I think that was about 3 years ago. Now you're holding the European title.
Yeah.
It's been a great journey so far, hasn't it?
That's it, man. TV's not a liar. Do you know what I mean? He told you back then, and what I'm doing now is kind of backing up what he was saying then. But yeah, man, since then it's been good. It's been a roller coaster as well. But it's a journey that every step, good or bad, and obviously there's been more good than bad. Alhamdulillah. It's we're taking it in our stride, and luckily I've got age on my side. So things like this pandemic, for example, it don't faze me too much because where I've just turned 21 actually. It's a good thing, and I've got plenty of time to play with. But at the same time, not time to be wasted.
You'll be fighting in a studio, yeah? So BT Sports Studio. Can you tell us a bit about the setup or anything like that?
To be honest, I don't have a clue. All I know I see a picture they put up the other day of the when they had the Cage Warriors in there. It's quite a big enough setup, so it'll be a good setup. But at the end of the day, no matter what, it's the ring, and me and him will be in there at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to getting in there and getting the win, man. Inshallah.
Is it going to be a bit weird as well? Because normally you bring quite a big crowd to your shows as well. I remember Birmingham.
Yeah.
You had quite a big following there. You sold quite a few tickets as well. London, Birmingham. Is it going to be weird not having the buzz of the crowd there as well? Or does that
It will be 100%. It will be, but I don't think it'll be that much of an effect. I understand when the crowd come, they're there to support you, get a buzz. But listen, at the end of the day, I look at this as my job. So regardless of what happens, I've got to get in there and get the win. So listen, hopefully everyone at home will be watching it, sending in their recordings and everything. I can catch up afterwards, man.
And looking at the world sort of rankings as well, there's Charlo, Rosario, Texiero, Who do you think is the man to beat at the minute at that division? Who do you?
100%. Charlo, man. Charlo, he's got the WBC belt, isn't he? So he's the man to beat at the division. But at the minute, it's just all about getting there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully in the next few years and stuff as well, we'll see you at some kind of title fight as well. Moving onto world boxing, especially like the heavyweight division as well. No doubt, as a fan, you've been keeping your eye on what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
So you were going to fight on the Dubois Joyce undercard.
Yeah.
It was looking like it was going to be a stacked card anyway.
Yeah.
So how do you think that main event would have gone down between Joyce and Dubois? You met them both, I take it. You know what they're about. They're in your same stable. How do you think that fight would have gone down?
I've said it before and I say it again. I think Dubois would have knocked him out. Whether it would have been early or later, I think Joyce would have walked onto too many of his punches. And destructive puncher like Dubois, you can't really afford to be doing that. So he'd knock him out. Like that's my prediction of the fight. Dubois went to win by knockout.
And AJ and Fury, that looks like potentially it could be made as well. I mean, there's talks of 2021, 20. Who knows? It could happen, right? I mean, if you had to put your last pound on it, how do you think that fight will go down?
100% Tyson Fury, man. 100%. Because I'm not saying that because he's part of Frank Warren. I'm saying because of his boxing skill, his boxing accolade, and everything about him. Do you know what I mean? His movement in the ring. He's just all wrong for Joshua personally.
Yeah, good stuff. And another thing I was going to ask you as well about training, particular in the pandemic and fights going down. Did you ever lose? I wouldn't say hope, but did you ever get a bit sort of like bordering on not depressed, but just down about with what's going on? Boxing being. How did you stay positive during all this time?
Listen, I looked as an opportunity to learn new things about yourself, because not every time you're put in this situation, do you know what I mean? So the best thing to do is to always look at the positive of a negative situation, and just work on your craft, learn on your weaknesses, and work on your weaknesses, and even develop your strengths as well, because you can always get better in every department. So that's the way I was doing things, man. That's exactly what I was doing. There's obviously days where you get bored and whatnot, but listen, you just got to get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's in the same boat. You're not the only one.
No, ideally, if you, TB, and the team are plotting your path, your future, what does it look like for this year? You're going to have a fight on July the 10th.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself going out again? Has there been any more talks, or is it one step at a time with what's going on?
Yeah, no, it's one step at a time. I always take it one step at a time. Listen, Paul Kean ain't no joke. So come July the 10th, hopefully, inshallah, I'll get the job done, and I'll get it done in spectacular fashion. And it'll only put me in a better position for the future. But for now, it's all about getting the win July the 10th.
And with Paul Kean as well, I mean, what kind of problems do you see him causing you, if any? Your last fight, you stopped your opponent. What round was it in? It was a good TKO as well.
End of the sixth round.
End of the sixth round. It was quite a devastation for the was it Kelly, wasn't it? You stopped him. So how do you see this fight going down?
Listen, the only prediction I can give you is a win. Because I never ever like look for the knockouts or say I'm going to spark him out or anything like that, because you never know what's going to happen in the fight. But one thing I can assure you is definitely a win, man. And as to the problems he can cause, there's loads of problems he can cause. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he won't cause me any. He could potentially just, like, you know, the game plan that I think that he's coming to bring, he could bring a totally another one. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's all about adapting, and to become a great champion, you've got to do these things. Do you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. It's a challenge, and I'm looking forward to grab with both hands, man.
Have you been keeping an eye on the matchroom side of things as well, with their behind the closed doors fights, their fight camp?
Yeah, I've seen a few show announcements, and yeah, man, it's good for the next 8 weeks or so. We've got a lot of boxing happening, so do you know what I mean? No one's complaining. Yeah,
it's looking really good. And just very finally, just a message for the fans then, Hamzah. Where can more people get hold of you and so on and so forth?
First message would be just make sure July the 10th you've got BT Sports and you're tuning in and watching the fight. And secondly, just Hamzah Sheeraz on Instagram, man, and from there you'll find all my social media handles.
Brilliant, Hamzah. All the best. We will be watching. Hopefully, you'll be celebrating on
man.
July the 10th as well. We'll catch up with you soon from the Boxing Voice.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, man.
Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows. The list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.